wait, so that's your clutch over there?
This is the clutch.
Where's your brake pedal?
There is no brake pedal.
What do you mean?
It's essentially it's a button on the floor.
That's the brake?
That's the brake.
Welcome back this week, guys. This is episode 13 of season 2. I'm Rossato.
And I'm Gaston Rossato.
And today we're going to display the beautiful 1970 Citroen DS 23 Pallas.
Drop it. A car that you probably know or don't know about, but if you don't, I'm here to show you why. It's probably one of the most technologically advanced vintage cars ever, or forget about vintage, all time. Has so many features, so innovative. I don't know if we can call it revolutionary. Let's go find out some more.
Before we do that, hit that subscribe button for us, because I'm excited about this video.
Let's go for the drive. First impression as soon as you get in, and you can't help but notice is, man, this thing is comfortable.
Yeah, it is very comfortable, actually.
And that was the purpose behind this car. It was a daily driver family car that was meant to be very comfortable. Like in a traditional car, you'd see, you know, power steering and brakes working on a hydraulic system, but this car is suspension, power steering, brakes, transmission, basically all the systems
are running on a hydraulic.
Right.
That's cool. That brake pedal kind of trips me out, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, it's not a pedal.
Well, the brake button. How's the brake feel on that?
Yeah, it takes a little bit of getting used to. So right now, this is known to be one of the smoothest riding cars ever. But I have it in the lowest setting. You can actually set the suspension to different heights, right? Depending on what you're doing with the car.
And the weather and
the weather and a puddle and the mud and the pothole or whatever the case may be. I have it nice and low because as we're talking and filming, we're getting some roller shots. And I think the car just looks really cool, nice and low.
I agree. And it's cool because the design of the car, you can tell they were just going for like full aerodynamics, you know?
Well, that's what this car's all about.
With the wide front, the smaller back end. It just looks like it came out.
Yeah, the track of the car is actually wider
in the front.
Right. So, you know, a lot of cool stuff there. Let's set the suspension up a bit. Oh, there. Let the back come up.
Yeah, no, for sure. And to think this car was from 1970, and it has all these.
Well, this one's from 1970.
Well, I mean,
the 70s, but this car was introduced in 1955.
So the car was produced for 20 years, from 1955 to 1975. Which to me is pretty amazing, because I'm not gonna lie, we recently got this car at the bar in Miami. It's for sale. I had no idea the car existed, and a car that was produced, over 1 million cars produced, about 1,400,000 cars produced.
It was mass produced. They did come into the United States. I can't tell you for sure what years they were, but it was a car that was more popular in Europe for sure. Oh, yeah. It is a French car, guys.
It's Citroen. In 1999, this car placed third in the poll for being one of the most influential auto designs out there. And it was named the most beautiful car of all time. The most beautiful car of all time by Classic and Sport Cars magazine.
Yeah, that's a big, bold statement.
That is a bold statement.
And I agree with it. There's nothing else that looks like it. There's no other car that looks like this car.
Oh, definitely not.
You can't look at this car and say, oh, it reminds me of such and such. No, it doesn't. You're lying, because it's a unique design. A very aerodynamic, efficient design too. I don't know if the design was purely wrapped around looking good. I think it was more about efficiency and aerodynamics. Earlier I said, is it revolutionary? I don't think it's revolutionary. I think a lot of the features that this car did have could have been revolutionary, but I don't think they was really adapted into other cars.
Well, I think the reason that didn't happen was because the manufacturers were scared of putting so much technology into one car.
Yeah. It was definitely...
It's an unknown.
It was innovative, that's for sure.
Yeah. This car was available in manual, semi-automatic, and fully automatic. The fully automatic was actually introduced in 1971. And the car was either a sedan, a wagon, and convertible.
A convertible.
It had a convertible.
That car is probably awesome and convertible.
I can imagine what that thing looks like.
It's got this strange gauge in here within. It's like a secondary gauge within the speedometer, which actually tells you your braking speed.
What?
Yeah. So we got to learn how to read this thing.
All right, so the Citroen DS 23 Pallas. Why 23? Because it's a 2.3 liter 4-cylinder engine.
Naturally aspirated air cooled. Let's start first with DS. In the French, was short for, I think it's Déesse or something like that. I can't pronounce it, guys, I'm sorry. But it did mean goddess. Pallas is the trim level given for the more luxurious of the DS cars. But Pallas is the name of the Greek goddess. The roof is not made of aluminum or metal like you'd find on a normal car. This is a fiberglass roof.
Oh wow.
Giving the car much less weight, of course. Right now, it's sitting on its lowest position. It actually has 5 different notches where you can set the suspension height depending on what you're doing with the car, and we're going to showcase that in just a little bit.
From what I'm told is that you can actually change the tire on this car without having to need the need of a jack.
You don't need a jack, all you need is a jack stand. So you place the car at a higher setting, place the jack stand, then lower the car,
Right.
and then that would leave your tires up in the air where you can replace.
That's pretty cool. But what happens now for this back tire? Because it is covered by the fender.
It's fully covered tire from the fender, no matter how high you raise the suspension. That is correct.
So we find back here this bolt, right?
Just one bolt in the rear quarter panel.
So you remove that bolt and the whole quarter panel comes off.
The whole quarter panel comes out, giving you full access to the rear tire. Let's go to the front headlights. When you steer this car, the headlights will follow in the direction that you steer.
No way. And you also notice that there's a little door inside there. If you open up the hood, you can go ahead and clean inside. Or you have any moisture in there, you can just go ahead and easily
in
access.
the morning, you know, you got that dew and some humidity, whatever, just wipe it off. I say we open up the hood.
Now to open up the hood, we need to unlatch it from both sides, right?
2 latches, yeah.
Which we probably need to do that actually, huh?
Yeah, it probably does need a wipe.
Well, while he figures that out, let's check out this engine.
I'm sure when it was brand new, it was much easier. All right, this is really cool. Air intake essentially is what it is.
Oh yeah.
And that draws the air up through the fan into the engine. Not a very powerful engine, but the most powerful of the DS's, the 2.3. Look at the rear. Look at this. This is better than sitting at, you know, in your sofa at home. All right. Massive ashtrays I just pulled out.
Thank God we're not smokers, huh?
Yeah, because my ash would have gone all over the place. Check out the steering wheel. Only one spoke on the steering wheel.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Again, I think it's part of function and design, which is always, for me, very fascinating and the best of both worlds. It looks ridiculously cool, and
strange.
it gives you full visibility of your dashboard. You know, some steering wheels will interfere. You have full visibility of the dash.
Vámonos.
So it has a systems light check right here by pressing this. Boom. All lights are working. No warning lights are on, so looks like we're good to go.
That guy was like, what the hell is that?
Little body roll tests. Whoa.
The car's just smooth.
So here on first gear, guys. Second gear in towards you and down. Third gear outward up. And then fourth gear outward, or straight down rather. And then reverse would be all the way pushed forward and down. So it's important to note that this is a European car. Okay, that's not an American spec car. This car was actually sourced in Spain and imported in. But it is now fully documented, fully legal, and titled here in Florida. Oh, this is a tight parking lot. Let's do the turn radius test. Make sure I don't hit a car, man.
You're good.
It's hard to gauge. Alright, let's not get dizzy.
I'm already dizzy as hell. I think I'm gonna throw up.
Man, this thing turns. Oh, turns really good.
Alright guys, this wraps up this week's review. That's right, this week's review, because every week we bring you a new car and a special car, so make sure to hit that subscribe button for us.
That's absolutely right, and this car is no exception. So special, so innovative. Again, I don't know if we can call it revolutionary, but this one here, 20 years in production, over 1 million ever produced, and it's so special that we're here talking about it so many years later.
Yeah.
A one-of-a-kind car, guys. We can go on the list. It just goes on and on. But
And the car is available, so
it is available at the bar of Miami, so follow us right there. You can follow me at Gaston Rossato.
you can follow me at Renzo Rossato.
We appreciate your love and support. Please hit that subscribe button so we can continue giving these videos on a weekly basis.
That's right. We'll see you guys next week. Until then, peace out.
Later.
Drop it.